Kat Matlala shared one of his traumas as a child, and I think there's a lesson out of it. And I want to pull this lesson out of our discipleship sessions that we once did a year ago. And if you want access to those discipleship sessions, you can text me on this number and just say, Ricky, send me that session or send me that file. It's a free classes for people that are coming up in faith and wanting to grow in their faith. This is what these sessions are for, and you might find them beneficial. I thought there was something in his testimony, in Kat's testimony, that tells you how did he become the man he is.
No, I didn't.
And then you never worked in any formal employment or?
No, I never had any formal employment.
So from high school, that's when you engaged in informal trading?
Yes, I will say before even high school, my mother disappeared on me, and then I had to raise myself. I was actually a street kid. So I grew up in the street for a very long time. So I just realized after when I grew up that my mother passed away, but she was an albino. She was raped. There was this myth that if you can rape an albino, then you can get cured for whatever. And then that thing traumatized her a lot, that she disappeared. And when I found her, she was terminally ill. And then I think it was 2002 when I found her through her friend. It was very late, and then she passed on. But all along, I was a street kid.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So that's what Kat shared. A very difficult childhood, growing up without a mother because she herself had her traumas, and then this led to his trauma, right? Abandonment. This particular traumas that he faced kind of translated to the person that he is. Now, I find it quite interesting that he has a security company. I just find it quite interesting. Yes, maybe that's what then came up and what, but I find it interesting that he was a person who grew up without security from anyone. And then when he grew up, that is the thing that, I hope you get me. I thought that particular point was very interesting. You see, humans, you see this thing, if you really sat down and you thought about it, it will humble you. The traumas that each and every single person carries. Some of them were not painful traumas. Some of them were things like a broken home. Some of them was a lack. We grew up without anything. For some people, they grew up with much, and there was loss across the line. Maybe parents divorced, and in that divorce, the parent with more left and went to be by himself. And so now they were left with this parent who doesn't have. And then this trauma of not having from a stable home where they had creates this identity out of them. Many people are as a matter of fact, not even many people. People are a reflection of traumas that they suffered. For some people, they were bullied when they were young, né? And so when they grow up, and this thing of feeling like they have to be a hero actually ends up with them dying, because they have to. Guys, I know someone who, because he lost a fight, it's not a joke. Yeah, no, it's not that the person he was fighting with killed him. he lost the fight. And because of this view of being a protector, he couldn't take it. Now, someone will sit down and say, how is that? Trust me. Traumas that people are, you see the world is just a bucket of trauma. It's like we all were dumped inside the bucket and we came out with our own. Everyone has their own out of it. Some people grew up in a household where when the father's car parks outside, everything must be fixed in the house. Not because, out of respect, no. Out of fear of the punishment that comes in when that door opens. The moment the person walks into the door, you were wrong. It had nothing to do with what you had done or what. No. The moment they walk into the door, they were wrong. So now when they come into adulthood, guess what? Always giving rules. Always. You see, when you see people, or you see all these things, like you see all these people that come here, they'll be telling us, God told them, we must not dress like. You see? Trauma. False response to trauma. It's not God that told you that. You have a God of the fears you have. And so now that God is now talking to you. It has nothing to do with the Bible. False response to trauma. You see, if we understood this, you'll drop your pride. You see, there are certain fights you should not even be there. There are people who told themselves that the day they make money, they've told you. You even see it on videos. You see people saying it, and then we're like, we laugh. No, that's a bad response to trauma. The person is traumatized by lack. And so as a result, they have this bad response to having. Some people grew up in houses where they were not allowed to talk. Hey, you're making noise. Those type of, hey, you're making noise. Must tiptoe around the house, all this stuff. So when they grow up, guess what? Noise making. The big sound system. Not because they love music. Yeah, there are people that love music, we get it. But there are people whose response and how do you even know? If you were to go to them and say, Ishman, I'm doing something, can you lower the volume? You can start a fight. You can literally start a fight because you told them. You see, you remind them of their childhood when they were told to switch off they were not allowed to play music. So you see, they are not fighting you because you said something wrong. You see, it's the adult version of them fighting you because they are protecting their childhood version of them. A person who never outgrew their traumas. There are people who are always fighting. But Zolani, I think we did like 3-4 sessions in our discipleship session. Right here. Session 40 something. Session 43. Yeah, right here. False identity. A deception of a false identity. There are people who have a hero mindset. Something happened maybe in their childhood, maybe they were abused with their siblings or something like that. They had that situation where they were ruffled when they were younger. They grew up with the hero mentality. They tell themselves, anyone who's under, they will. If someone started fighting his wife, you are dead. You're going to die. He's not coming for a discussion. You see, he's responding to. In these sessions, you'll notice we spoke about a false identity, a deception of a false identity, and then rebuilding thing, victimhood versus a survivor. There's a reason why we're talking about that. And then you'll notice, then we speak about deception of sleep or deception of trauma. You see those sessions? These are the sessions. They are describing exactly what you are hearing Kat's talking about. Correct response to trauma. If we don't have the correct response, what can come out? What can happen? If you were not in the discipleship session, just send me a message on this number here and say, Ricky, please forward me those messages. You don't even have to greet me. Just say, Ricky, forward me those messages. I'll forward you the file. You can go and listen in. It's very important we have a right response to trauma. Look at Joseph, traumatized by his brothers, sold into slavery. Imagine that one. Throw you into a hole, throw you to slavery. Go to your family, lie that you were eaten or something. But when those people come to him, look at his response. Kindness comes out. He teaches them a lesson. Go and get me the other person. And then when he chooses to keep them, the brothers want to fight now. He says, but you failed to do that for me? So you see, when a person comes out from trauma, they must have a lesson. Because the lesson is what people must get from you. We're not supposed to see this violent, we're not supposed to see all this, controlling over what. Oh, Jesus. Is this other pastor? He's a fake pastor. And he was undermined a lot when he got into ministry. He was undermined a lot. When he started to have money, he had told himself he was going to show everyone. Now, he lost all that money. And now, anytime anyone even says anything, the way he will fight you. Why? Because undermined. He was undermined. So his response is literally that. It's very important. Most criminals, it's a response to fear and lack. They fear being without. They fear being in lack. So they will do anything to respond, to fix this thing. They'll harm people. And if you go to, why do you think when you read the 10 Commandments, few are about God? The rest are about us. I'm the Lord your God. I've brought you out of Israel, out of Egypt, to show you that the laws had nothing to do with that. It says, you shall not have any other God besides me. Okay? You shall not take any image. He goes on with that. And then he says, you must not bow yourself to them. And then he says, but you must show okay to the generation. Then he says, you must not misuse the name of the Lord. And then you go forward, keep the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you do your labor, right? And then he explains the Sabbath thingy. Then he gets into the laws that have to do with relationships. Notice this. He says, honor your father and mother. Whatever perception you have of how the world owes you, honor your father and mother. You learn a bit, honor your father and mother, so that you'll live long. And then he says, you shall not murder, your relationship with other people. You shall not commit adultery. Don't take another person. You shall not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness of your neighbor. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not. Notice how all these other laws are about how we relate to other people. Why do you think that is? Part of the 10 Commandments is our relationship with God and then our relationship with everyone else. Why do you think that is? Because the more we heal in our traumas, the more we deal with those traumas, rejection, you name it, the more we deal with these things, the more we have genuine relationship. There are people who can't have a relationship with you. They are siblings of yours. Maybe they are your sister or your brother or what. They're always arguing with you. Always arguing. You wonder, why does this person always start an argument? Because that person is not dealing with trauma correctly. So they can only build manipulation as a form of a relationship. This person has a false identity of what a relationship is. They don't have a good, so they manipulate it. We gave an example when we spoke about Enigma. It's the same thing. He doesn't know how to build a genuine relationship. He's never been just liked as him. So there had to be all these extras. And so now when you don't like that extra, guess what he does? God told me he has departed. Why? He's dealing with a false identity. Trauma of rejection. He's responding wrongly. That's what you are dealing with. All the unforgiveness, the what. Some people who are fighting you, they are not even fighting you. They are fighting for their childhood self. You see, that's why discipleship. That's why he said, except you carry your cross and follow me. What does that mean? Take what I say and model your life around that. Carry your cross has nothing to do with your duties. He's not talking about, paying bills, I'm carrying a cross. No. Those are your duties. What are you talking about? He's talking about whatever problems you had, whatever troubles you had, take that and listen to how I say you must deal with it. You bring them to Jesus to deal with it. That's why he says, carry your burdens. Bring them to him. And then he will tell you how to deal with it. He tells you how to deal with forgiveness. He tells you how to deal with difficult people. He tells you how to deal. Strict Reality Show, we do daily Christian commentary videos. The next time someone tells you the Bible is irrelevant, show them those stories. Peter's rejection of Jesus. He can't stand by himself. He thinks he needs a crutch to walk around. So as a result, he's going to lie. No, I'll fight for you. I'll do what he's going to do, whatever it takes in order to get thee behind me, Satan. Jonah also, same thing. Does not want to be, he does not want to be in any rejection. He does not know what to do with rejection and isolation. So as a result, he refuses to go and send a message. Traumas. Are you responding correctly? When the Bible says, when I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. When Jesus said that statement, I will draw all men unto me, guess what he meant? Guess what he meant? He meant that out of instructing you how to deal with the traumas you are dealing with, he shines through. So you see, God draws people to us so that the lessons we have learned during the traumas or out of the traumas, we are able to give lessons to others. Others experience the opposite of those traumas. You now know what rejection feels like. Don't give that. You notice people who've suffered some type of overly authoritative people, they become the same. They give rules. They want to give rules. Parents were like that or something. They were restricted when they were a child, whatnot. So now you tiptoe when you're around them because they have rules. They put these rules which are unreasonable. Why? Trauma. A false response to trauma. Everyone is dealing with one or more. If you deal with one wrongly, when you stand before God, you'll have nothing. Tell him, it's Ricky, we're done.